Hello again today. This is Ari from Baxter's Heritage Homestead. We are going to do a book review. I don't know about other people, but in the winter we read a lot to prepare for the next year. We are a big reading family. That is our family's favorite pastime. We go through a lot of books in a year, including my children. I'm a big nonfiction person. My children and husband are big fiction people. So I'm more of an information gatherer. That is my favorite thing. So these are some homesteading books. I do not have very many gardening books, and I cannot find the ones that I do have in this pile. Don't mind the lack of missing crown molding here. Again, our house is a constant state of under construction. So this is just how our life is. These books are in no particular order. They're more so homesteading books. Even though we have no animals right now, we did have goats. We did have rabbits up until October, and chickens and stuff like that. It's the first time in 8 years that we have not had any animals on our farm, besides our dogs and cats. But so we're getting chickens this week. But this is the first time in a long time that we have not had animals. And we're getting our goats on the 9th of March. Things are picking back up again. I just needed a break after my mom passed to deal with everything. But these are some books. None of them are about specific subjects or anything in particular. They're just to hopefully inspire you to read them. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know who these authors are, but we'll just jump right in here. Oh, I should probably work on my... I should not have to bend down every single time, should I? It's probably a bad idea. But so, first one on the list is Fresh Eggs Daily by Lisa Steele. This is a great informational book. Some of her practices are a little strange. Like, she babies her chickens a lot. But she does have a lot of useful information in here about substituting food. So adding greens and kitchen scraps and just how to overwinter them better. It's a really informational book. I've read it quite a few times just to get refamiliarized with it, and it always has really good information. This is not really a homesteading book, but it is Once Upon a Farm by Rory Feek. I had never heard of Rory Feek until last June. I had no idea that he existed. I didn't know anything about him. And so his story is heartbreaking and inspiring at the same time. It's not really an informational book, but it is one worth the read. It gives you a perspective on life that you still have to go on no matter what. So it's just a good winter read. Here we start getting the nitty-gritty around here. This is Family Friendly Farming by Joel Salatin. I'm sure everyone here knows who Joel Salatin is. It's the first farm book that I ever read, first homesteading books I ever read. I'm big into permaculture. I know I know chickens are meant to be rotationed. I know that we rotation our rabbits. So I know how all this works. It's just his familiarity with getting to make a profit from the farm is really outstanding. It really is incredible, the knowledge that he has with it. So this is just a great read. I'm gonna bend down again. Okay. Amy Fuell's book on natural chicken keeping. Amy Fuell is incredibly knowledgeable Again, these are not all my books. I have more. I just can't locate them right now. There's a squirrel outside my window. I'm distracted. But so a lot of herbal, how should I say this? Herbal ways to treat chicken issues. Works. It is a tiny book, but it is filled with knowledge and wisdom. And I bought it when she released it, and I have read it about 4 or 5 times, and I can't say enough about it. Her method to managing chickens has always been one to take word from. She knows her stuff. Alrighty. Foraging for Wild Foods by David Squire. Everyone, I believe, should have a foraging book. This one isn't really so much of a non-fiction read. It is something to have with you. It's like a guide. Goodness gracious. It is... There are so many things that people do not utilize in their backyards that they could for food. Wild greens are abundant here, and it really is incredible knowledge to have. Now, I don't trust mushroom hunting at all. I do inoculate logs, but I do not mushroom hunt, as it is one of my biggest fears ever is to accidentally poison my family or I. So I don't do mushroom hunting. We live in a place with massive amounts of morels, and I am still terrified. I don't trust people. So, but his, the berry knowledge, just the wild edible greens is just astonishing. So I would really recommend getting a foraging book of any kind. And while you're on your property, you can see how much of it is utilizable. So there's just a suggestion. And the first and ever book that I ever read on homesteading was You Can Farm by Joel Salatin. Still has a bookmark in it from the last time I read it. But it is chocked full of knowledge, and his story of how he grew up, and how he's always been ingrained in permaculture. So it just really is incredible. And his book inspired us to get rabbits years ago. Our rabbits are not in cages or in the garage or anything like that. My husband builds tractors, and we rotate them on 1.5 acres in the back of our property. So it works so well, and our pastures are the lushest they've ever been. Ever. Like I said, it was virgin ground when we moved in, and they really have done a wonder. So permaculture does work. And I know a lot of people have issue with permaculture because it's more difficult, but it is not if you're in routine. And it really is a great practice to have. Now, I'm going to say this. Joel Salatin has a lot of acres. Not everybody has a lot of acres. And if you cannot sustainably do permaculture, that is fine. I believe everyone should have zones, whether they do permaculture or they don't. Zone gardening and farming will really give you a perspective on the important matters of how to homestead without getting burnt out. So it really is a great read. So this is the book that inspired us to get rabbits. So, and at one point, I believe we had 37 head of adult breeding rabbits. So it really is just incredible knowledge. I'm bending down again. It's weird. And the marvelous pigness of pigs. Not so much informational, but hilarious nonetheless. It is informational. I will give it that. But it is very witty and funny. And it's a different side of Joel, which is nice. I really enjoyed this book because it is a different side of Joel. It's just, it gives a lot of insight to how people of farming or sustainable agriculture work in their head. So I just would recommend reading this to anybody. It is a good book, and it is full of witty quips, and I like it. So I'm going to bend down again to put the book in the pile. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. We do have more books. That is okay. I cannot find them all. I'm ashamed with how many books we have as a family, but it's okay. We enjoy reading, and it is one of our greatest family bonding things, is we read a lot. And what gardening books would you recommend? Because I've just been gardening. Like, I've been gardening my whole life, so I don't have a lot of gardening books. But if you could give me some recommendations, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. But I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being here.